Which celebrity death was the most unexpected? Fisher died. I had a very vivid flashback to see her one-woman show, Wishful Drinking, and she told a story about how at any time her mum would call her and leave a voicemail. It began with "Hello dear, it's your," and I had the thought that that's what she'd say when she saw her in the afterlife, too. And then the very next day, Debbie Reynolds died. Honestly, I still can't quite get over Carrie Fisher. She was so much more than just Princess Leia, an outspoken advocate for mental health, a hilarious and brutally honest writer, and it felt like she had so much more to give. And then, her mother, Debbie Reynolds, passing just a day later. It was an unbelievable one to punch. Hollywood royalty lost in the blink of an eye. The most recent one that really bummed me out was Bray Wyatt. Awful, an amazing, creative, and unique mind gone far too soon. The entire wrestling world was better with him in it, and there will never be another one like him. Similarly, it reminded me of when I was a kid and Eddie Guerrero passed away. Also, so unfair. Another brilliant performer gone way too soon. Michael Jackson was so shocking that everyone ran to Google to see what was up. Google didn't really think that a news event that big could happen, so they initially thought it was a denial of service attack, so that was unexpected. Prince's D. Kobe, Kurt Cobain all came out of left field and are probably up there. In the music world and recent memory, Chris Cornell. Soundgarden was in the middle of a huge comeback. He had been sober for a long time by then, and they had just finished playing to an arena in Detroit. By morning he was dead by his own hand. Depression is a motherfucker and can take anybody. For me, Selena. I watched her be one of the only female voices in her genre to cameos in telenovelas to a small part in Hollywood. Watched her win a Grammy, successfully launch a designer boutiques, all before the age of 23. And then, Yolanda. Selena works so hard. It still breaks my heart. Naya Rivera really hit me hard. She was such a vibrant part of Glee, and seeing her life cut tragically short in what was meant to be a fun day out with her son just underscores how unpredictable and fragile life can be. It's a stark reminder to cherish every moment. Queen Elizabeth. Like everyone realizes it's gonna happen. That she's been around for so long you don't even think that's possible. 2 months later, and no one gives a fuck anymore. Humans are strange. Whatever was her impact? Pretty much not fucking things up. I was attending a summer class at UCLA when I saw all these helicopters hovering in the sky. There must have been 5-6 of them. It was surreal. Came to find out Michael Jackson was at the hospital and had been announced dead. It was a really strange moment. I think Freddie Mercury was somewhat unexpected. There were rumors of him being ill since they stopped touring in '89, but the band continued to deny it. They then released a statement in late '91 that he had AIDS. He died the next day. Any sudden one like Kobe Bryant and Paul Walker. IMO Chris Cornell taking his own life came as a great shock to me. It never occurred to me that a man with such a successful and great music career could feel that way in his 50s. Anthony Bourdain, Michael Jackson, and Kobe Bryant all impacted me. Next higher would be Whitney Houston, Chadwick Boseman, and Chris Farley. Imagine what the world would do if Taylor Swift's plane collided with Beyoncé and Jay-Z's. I wouldn't consider it shocking or anything based on his age. But the celebrity death that got me was Ali Ermi. Being a Marine and having met him gave me a sliver of a connection to him. It was like losing an icon. Billy Mays. There were so many celebrity deaths in the summer of 2009. So his was often overlooked. Also the fact it was a complication from luggage falling on his head on a plane, not an ongoing illness. Robin Williams really wrecked me. I had suddenly lost a parent shortly beforehand. It was wild to feel as if I was rehashing all of my grief over a stranger who didn't feel like a stranger. Jimmy Buffett. New album coming out, and my wife and I were saving up to go to his local tour stop this year. It was like a smack in the face that morning when we saw it on the news. I was really surprised by Naya Rivera's death. It really upset me. Knowing she saved her son and drowned, probably wondering and scared whether he was going to be found. Horrifying. I found it interesting how Norm Macdonald spoke often about hating celebrities' fights with cancer in tabloids. The entire time. He had leukemia. That's such a Norm thing to do. Ryan Dunn. All the Jackass dudes seemed immortal until that happened. And of all the Jackass dudes to die, it was Ryan Dunn. Not Pam, or Johnny, or Steve ... but Ryan. Tom Petty. It just kinda came out of nowhere. It was in the news for a few days and forgotten about by the end of the week because of the Las Vegas concert shooting. I was not expecting David Bowie. He died like the same day as an album release and didn't tell the world he was sick. I named my cat Bowie that year. Ken Block. It's one of the known people that affected me and made me sad cause I loved the videos of this dude. Plus he had a family that's also sad. Who this one is gonna anger many. I don't care about celebrities. Their death has zero effect on me and usually smile when I read of another one. For me, Juice WRLD, I was at the same airport when it happened. I couldn't believe it. Even though he'd struggled with addiction for a long time, while I wasn't there. I'm pretty sure nobody expected John Lennon to just have some guy walk up to him and shoot him in the back 5 times. Tom Petty ... 35-year-old male, and his music puts my soul at ease. And I don't listen to music like his at all. Loved him since I was a young kid. David Bowie and Prince. They were extraterrestrial. It was almost difficult to believe they were mortal at all. NJ was shocking as well. Norm Macdonald, unexpected and also the only one besides Gilbert Gottfried who I felt actual sadness over the loss of their life. Taylor Hawkins is probably the most recent one to catch me way off guard. I'd just finished reading Dave Grohl's biography that week. Rick Mayall felt like quite a shocker to me. 56 is way too young to die, and he still had so much more to give, a true force of nature. Being in my mid-30s, the 3 that come to mind are Heath Ledger, Kobe, and Chester Bennington. So much talent lost far too soon. For me, Anton Yelchin. Horrible freak accident at only 27 and just heading into the prime of his career. Such a fucked way to go. The death of Buddy Holly and Richie Valens. Today the music die. Fucked a big bopper. Sad he died, but it was for the best. Norm Macdonald. I didn't even know he was sick when he and cancer finally ended in a draw. Edit change stalemate to draw. Angus Cloud. Definitely a shock. He was totally on James Gandolfini's skill level. Gandolfini death was also a huge shock. It was pretty shocking when Carrie Fisher died. Even more shocking when her mom Debbie Reynolds died the next day also. Prince, Aaliyah, Jenny Rivera, Chester Bennington, Amy Winehouse and Brittany Murphy to name a few that surprised me. Lance Reddick for me. He was literally in John Wick and had a huge role in the Horizon franchise before he passed. Odon Kanto. I was looking up season 3 of The Cleaning Lady and sat in absolute shock when that was the first headline. Anton Yelchin, Grout Imahara, Steve Irwin, Andre Braga, Lance Reddick, Paul Walker, Michael Clark Duncan, Avicii. I don't think anyone went into this week thinking Drake would be killed by the end of the weekend. But here we are. Kobe, Williams and Bourdain are probably the big 3 for me. More than just them dying, but how each of them died. Anthony Bourdain. I had gotten back from backpacking, turned on the TV, and it was everywhere. I was shocked, finding out MF Doom died on Halloween. And we didn't find out until his wife made a post on New Year's Eve. Robin Williams, Phil Hartman, I'd add the Johns Belushi and Candy. But I sort of saw those as inevitable. Also Moonbin from Astro. For all my fellow pop fans, that was my first time experiencing an idol death. The young ones who die in tragic accidents are the ones, I guess, like Anton Yelchin or Chance Perdomo. Corey Monteith, because I wasn't aware of his addiction issues at the time, just being a young Glee fan. For a more recent answer, Chance Perdomo, absolutely floored me on an already particularly shitty day. Lisa Marie Presley. 2 days before her death she was at the Golden Globes. 54 is young to die. Real life death. Brittany Murphy. Freddie Prinze is another one. And of course Kurt Cobain. Chester from Linkin Park was both a bit shocking and a bit not. Hope he's at peace though. NF Doom. Robin Williams, Andre Brewer. Chadwick Boseman, Angus Cloud. Amy Winehouse. Matthew Perry's death, while maybe not completely shocking, just completely floored me. Chris Cornell. Medical emergency Lisa Marie. Mrs. Judd suicide, Sinead, broken heart. The kid from Alpha Dog. Smashed between his car and his gate. What a way to go. Chadwick Boseman. Unexpected by many and super sad. Gone way before his time. Michael Jackson for me. I still remember exactly where I was when I heard. None. They all had it coming, either by being dumb or playing with drugs. Heath Ledger, Anton Yelchin, and Kobe are the first to pop into my head. Mac Miller. A legendary human whose music is a daily anthem in my life. Ayrton Senna. It's been over 30 years and I still can't process it. Abe Vigoda. Only because we all thought he had died years before. I mean, I don't think anyone thought Kobe was gonna die in his 40s. Michael Jackson. Felt like that dude was larger than life itself. I just wish we'd see politicians going more than anyone else.